Yo, right here in the small box.
All right, I think this is the one everyone's been waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, if you clicked on this video, you know exactly what you're here for. I think this is the first time I'm giving a raw, authentic, album review, tailor-made personally by me, you know what I'm saying? I just find it interesting that this is where we're at today with music. I just wanted to start here first. I don't really do this, by the way. I tend to keep my thoughts and reactions raw and in the moment. A video like this when I'm outside the moment is kind of interesting for me because I actually think better in the moment, oddly enough. If you've been watching this channel for a while, if you've been paying attention to the lives and you hear me talk, I don't have a script. I really do be talking off the top of my head. So to do a video like this is kind of out of my comfort zone, but I feel like this is absolutely necessary to do for this project specifically. Now, I need people to understand me and understand me very well, especially people in Toronto, all right? I want to start off by saying I love where I'm from. I love where I live. I love moving around the places I move around to. I love the daytime. I love the nightlife. Every street, every district, regardless if it's North York or we're going to Scarbs or we're going to take it all the way back to Etobicoke or if we want to go downtown. I love where I'm from. I love the places that we go to around here. I love the people that I meet, regardless if it's a videographer, photographer, or anybody and everybody in between. I care about where I'm from. If you watch my videos, if you watch any of my live streams, yes, I get a little active. It's just what I do. It's just a part of my character to turn up every now and then. But don't let the turn up confuse you. Where I'm speaking from a place of nothing but care. Because I care about our artists. I care about our music industry. I care about our potential. Because it's bright as day, even though it's raining outside right now. I have so much care that it might come off as some sort of blatant hate. We're going to get into that as we go through the video. But I want to make sure that we start here before we start talking about this project, because I want to let people know right now, this project, and I'm only going to be focusing on Iceman. The other two albums, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? That's not for me. But we're here for Iceman because Iceman has been pushed for 2 years, promoted, talked about for 2 years. Ever since he announced it. But I want to make this very clear. On this channel, when you come here, I'm critical. And I'm critical for a reason. I'm critical because I care deeply. Because I want to see the best for us. I think there are plenty of Canadian artists here that can compete. And the key word is compete, because I do understand the competition within hip-hop. There are plenty of Canadian artists here that can compete with American artists or any other artists around the world. I'm just going to be honest. The talent that I have witnessed, it impresses me more and more when I see it, when I hear it, when I visualize it. You see what I'm saying? This project, Iceman, it sounds so familiar. It sounds like I've already heard this before, even though a lot of these tracks are new. The way I see this project falling in between Scorpion and Certified Lover Boy with some elements of For All the Dogs. That's what the album is a cross between. You know, on Scorpion, he was teetering the line of being like, oh, I could be that bad guy. For All the Dogs, he was definitely crossed over that line a little bit. But now that we're here with Iceman, he is fully embracing that mob boss mentality that he has, which is cool. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. But where you lose me is when we start talking about how much of a victim you are. Now, real quick, before we even continue, I need people to understand this real quick. This is a Canadian platform. This is a Canadian channel. But I also want to make this clear. This is not Rapaholics, and this is not Fantastic Hip Hop. I'm going to do what I do, all right? I'm going to talk the way I talk, all right? Mind you, still no script. So this is all off the top, but don't get it twisted. We're still going to go in depth with this project. So I guess without further ado, we can go ahead and start talking about how Kendrick is literally on this guy's mind 24/7. Rightfully so, because that battle between the two in 2024, that was the first L Drake took that was just undeniable. Like, to say Kendrick lost is absolute blasphemy, knowing that every song Kendrick dropped with the destructive nature that came along with it is absolutely astounding. And to deny that and to ignore that, you're doing a disservice to yourself. You're lying to yourself. You're lying to your own functioning brain. One thing on this channel that I talk about a lot is that my brain functions. My brain thinks. My brain explores. To deny that is denying your own brain working. It's as if your thoughts are brain dead almost. And we do not do that around here. We're going to let you know what it is, raw and truthfully, all right? So the fact that Kendrick Lamar is on this dude's mind constantly is absolutely amazing, because it's damn near on every song there is a jab or a complete diss to Kendrick. Sir, the rap battle was 2 years ago. Now, I do have something to say to that, but I want to say this first. The rap battle was 2 years ago, bro. You gotta let it go. The fact that this whole Iceman project is coded in nothing but disses. It's as if you dropped a diss album trying to show the world, nah, I can still do this, but you're 2 years out.
I see a lot of people on the internet, mainly Twitter, unfortunately.
I see a lot of people out there talking about, oh, Kendrick Lamar took how long to drop his album? He took how long to drop his project? Sir, the battle was a moment. And in that moment, you're supposed to show up. Drake waved the white flag with the Hard Part 6, trying to end the battle with some jabs and say, yeah, that was some nice lyrical exercise. Get the plan flowing. Yeah, sir, you literally gave out your L. And the funniest part is there's some songs that was dropped in this project, and there were some songs in 100 gigs that would have been a better response than putting out the Hard Part 6. Kendrick Lamar checkmated you in that battle, in that moment. And you're the one that milked it all the way. You were provoking, drop, drop, drop. Now what happened? But I'm tired of going back through the history of the battle, even though there's people out there trying to change the history of the battle. This is one of the channels that's going to let you know about the history of the battle. This is one of the channels that's going to let you know about the history of the battle and not try to change it to suit other people's needs. So let's get that out the way. One thing I do have to say, though, is with Kendrick Lamar on Whacked Out Murals, he did say he wanted to see y'all geeked up. So I feel like with the Iceman project, this is Drake geeked up. So you're listening to your opponent. You're listening to the tips and tricks of the trade that Kendrick Lamar was giving you. And simply how I see Iceman is that you're responding to your superior. All right. Maybe that was a little too much. Of course, Kendrick Lamar beat him bad. But at the end of the day, with how people are reacting, Drake is definitely, he one-upped Kendrick with this one, if I'm going to be honest. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, what are you talking about? He one-upped Kendrick. Bro, come on. I don't think Kendrick Lamar is ever going to drop 3 projects, ever. Me, personally, Kendrick Lamar has no reason to drop 3 projects like that. I feel like it's not smart to do. Don't follow the tail at the end of the beast. It's senseless. You're Kendrick Lamar. You pave your own way. If it comes out that next year you're dropping 3 projects, I'm gonna look at that a little sideways, if I'm gonna be honest. Because you're the trendsetter. Your music proves it. You're the innovative individual. You're creating staples. Drake is the one creating moments. And based on how the streams are falling off on Iceman, this is indeed a moment. Now, we're gonna go through some of the tracks on this list. I don't feel like I need to go through every single song, but I'm definitely gonna go to the songs that stand out to me. And there's some pretty big songs on here that stand out to me for sure. Mainly the first song. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, we're gonna go ahead and get started with our album review. Now, remember, this is not Rapaholics, and this is not Fantastic Hip Hop. You are now tuned in with the Flex Your Mind Network, ladies and gentlemen. So please understand, this review may be unorthodox. It might be out of the ordinary. We might be going all over the track list. But please understand, ladies and gentlemen, this is a unique and incredible album review that you will enjoy. So sit back, relax, get something nice and strong to drink. If you don't want something aggressive, go and get something sweet. If you do not want something sweet, simply get a glass of water. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this album review.
with that being said, track 1. All right, Make Them Cry. This song right here, I wanted to let y'all know this right now. I like this song. As an opening track, I like this song. A little background real quick. If you tune into my lives, I don't really say this too much in my videos, but if you tune into my live, one song that is my personal favorite from Drake, outside of all the B tracks, the A tracks, the C tracks, my personal favorite Drake song is Diplomatic. That song let me know that, okay, he can do this. Regardless if he wrote it or not, he can do this. He can play the part. That song opened my eyes, if I'm going to be super honest. Because I always saw Drake as like the R&B dude. He had some rap records. They didn't really mesh with me too heavily because I always seen him as the R&B dude. Now, yes, I had an interview with Friday. He let me know that he was rapping before he was singing. But the songs when he was singing on, especially on the first album, So Far Gone, that's what I gravitated to more. And keep in mind, the household that I'm in, rap didn't come first. But it's like that for a lot of households. Rap never came first. Now, for Caribbean kids, for anybody out there that has Caribbean parents, you already understand. We're going to hear reggae first. We're going to hear dancehall first. We're going to hear soca first. And then we're going to hear the R&B tapes. It's only when we turn on the TV, we're going to hear the rap records. And that's exactly what happened to me, because when the TV's on, that's when we're watching the 106 and Parks on BET. That's when we're watching BET Now. That's when we're watching Big Tigger in the Basement. Oh, buddy. The freestyles that you would hear with Big Tigger in the Basement, especially when he had Elephant Man on there. Oh, see, moment in time, ladies and gentlemen. If you missed out, there's clips on YouTube. Trust me, it's worth it. For anybody out there that used to watch BET heavily and y'all remember Ghetto Man, and he used to run up and down the street just giving, just asking for interviews and talking to people crazy. Ghetto Man was a classic. If you know, moo, sa, moo, milk it, milk it. If you remember that, you a real one. If you remember that one, you're a real one for sure. But let's not get away from what we're here for. Please understand, that's how my upbringing was. So that's how my journey in music started as a kid. Going back into Make Them Cry. This is what I needed from him. This is what I was asking for. For anybody that used to watch my old videos, when I was first popping off and the channel was first booming, that's when I was like, yes, I was very animated and I was very free with the way I was talking. But understand this. What I wanted happened with this project. If anybody remembers, I used to say all the time, he needs to lean on the city. The city is your playground. Use it as such. If you have the freedom to film in the downtown city hall office, use that to your advantage. You don't need to be in the strip clubs recording. Yes, it's a different environment for you. That's cool. But you don't need that. We need you to lock in. That's what we're here for. That's what I was looking out for. From when he's saying he's turning 40, he's battling aging. I didn't say it on stream, but literally in my mind, I'm like, yes! That's what we need. That's what I wanted from you this whole time. Because a strategy that Drake could use is to age yourself. Show the growth in your raps. Because with the fan base that you have, knowing that you prefer to market to the kids, understand this part. If you aged your bar, your fans will follow you and they would love you even more. And people on the outside watching you, they'll be like, finally he did it. Finally he gave us what we were asking for. Of course, a lot of people want old Drake. We're never going to get that. He confirmed that with this project. We're never going to get that. But the fact that he finally gave us the one thing a lot of us has been begging for, I sat back and I said, yes, that's what I wanted from you. And then proceed to throw it all away. Like, brother, what are you doing? You had it. Then you lose it like you don't want it. It's like when your parents buy you something real expensive and you don't take care of it and you lose it. Now you're going home missing a $600 product that your parents paid with their whole paycheck. Brother, that belt is not going to sting. That belt is going to cut. That's literally what happened. You had it. And I was expecting Iceman to be that growth. But Iceman just turned out to be ice cubes in a mocktail. I don't remember one word of your raps. That was the one thing that stood out for me on Dust. I'm like, sir, what was the point of the first song? Of course, the first song was the warning for what's to come in this project. Cool. If that's what you wanted to spend the one song when you're showing your growth, if that's your desire, cool. That's the structure of this project. That's what we're going to be going through throughout this. That's fine with me. All right? Aside from the dissing, Dust is cool. I'm not a fan of the dissing because it's too little too late. And I don't care for your fans out there trying to defend you saying things like, oh, Kendrick Lamar can take as long as he wants. Why can't Drake take as long as he wants? Drake is in the limelight. Drake is the individual that's in the stratosphere that everybody pays attention to. Kendrick Lamar is literally the embodiment of a boogeyman. When he's gone, he's going to haunt you. Or you're not going to miss him, whatever. However you think when you think of like ghosts, when you think of phantoms, whatever. That's what comes with Kendrick Lamar. But when he's here, let me tell you something. When he's here, he's going to let you know. Now, please understand this. The Inflection Mind Network is not a stand page. We don't stand for nothing. We don't stand for fans. We don't do that around here. But don't get it twisted. When we see that it's clear as day that one artist has what it takes to out-rap the whole industry, and then the other artist is complaining about how he's trying to out-rap the industry, we're going to choose the first guy. I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit here and hear somebody complain on a track thinking this shit is hot only because y'all are attracted to the beat and not the lyrics. The only reason why a lot of the people around here like the songs is not because of the lyrics, it's because of the beats. Unless, of course, you prefer to hear the dissing. You prefer to hear the crash out mentality that the generation is growing up with it. Pay attention. The only reason why the album is hot is because the whole generation, the kids out there, and anybody that follows that idea, of course the older people, y'all like crash out shit. And I'm here to let you know that's not hip hop. Hip hop is not about dissing. Dissing is the competition. That's the upper echelon of the competition. At that point, it's like the Olympics. When people are dissing each other, at that point, you're in the Olympics of words, of rapping. That's when it gets interesting. But remember, the Olympics only comes around every 4 years. If you want everybody to diss each other all year round, what's the point of the Olympics? Because you might as well just go down to the NBA league and duke it out with your teams. If everybody's continuously dissing each other out there, that's going to be pointless to the whole point of rap. Rap is more about, it's more than dissing. When it comes to rap, this is literally the bread and butter to what makes music great. Wordplay is what keeps people engaged. The beat married with the wordplay is what creates the longevity. That's what the raps is. That's what hip-hop is. That's why this hip-hop culture is powerful. Because with all the Taylor Swifts, with all the BTSs, with any of these other genres dominating, at the end of the day, they always come back to hip-hop. Because hip-hop will forever be center stage. Look at K-pop. K-pop is literally one-for-one copying hip-hop culture. It's because they develop artists out there is the reason why they're moving like that. Because they actually have proper artist development for K-pop. Even though they're using the Motown method. Yes, I've done my research. I know about this. That's why K-pop is so powerful. They know how to develop their artists to the key, to the point that it's undeniable across planet Earth. But Dust is cool. But you lose me with Whisper My Name. I'm not gonna lie, it sucks that Whisper My Name doesn't work for me. It sucks that Whisper My Name doesn't work for me because it has really good visuals to the music video. And that's another thing. I feel like more time was spent on the visuals for the Iceman episode 4 stream than the actual songs. That's me personally. I'm sorry. All right? That's my own personal opinion. If you don't like it, the comment section is open for a reason. Actually, let me know in the comments, what do you prefer? Do you prefer the visuals that come along with the track? Or do you just care about the tracks overall? Just let me know in the comments. I'm curious, you know? But Whisper My Name, if I wasn't listening to the album with a purpose, I would have skipped that song right there. if I'm going to be real with you. It's just so unfortunate because I'm expecting more. You literally gave me what you needed. And yes, this is a personal thing, of course. But you gave me what you needed in the first song. Could you at least follow up with that? Keep the beats to any of this shit. Hey, that's another thing. This song has the first beat switch that was pointless. Throughout this project, there's plenty of beat switches where they were pointless. I'm going to tell you right now, the one beat switch I really hate was on Too Hard for the Radio. That beat switch, what were you doing? What were you thinking? You wanted to one-up Not Like Us so bad that you ruined the song that could have done it. It really couldn't, if I'm going to be honest. It really wouldn't be able to do that. But, you know, for the Drake fans out there, of course, I'll help them with their dreams and aspirations, right? But, man, Whisper My Name, it's cool. And a lot of people thought this was going to be the standout. But funny enough, the standout song on Iceman is Janice STFU. Now, I've witnessed this firsthand in clubs. Now, I am a security guard in Toronto. We can go ahead and make that clear right now. I'm a security guard in Toronto. I'm going ahead and tell you that real quick. I've seen Janice STFU play in the clubs. This one works. Baby. Like, you see, like, that part there where you're trying to, like, embody that Playboy Cardi. You're trying to activate that Playboy Cardi in you. That works. That works with the same white kids you were talking about when it comes to Kendrick. But that works. That works with the kids and, of course, with the niggas. Not too much I need to say about Janice STFU, but this works. Now, me hearing about this song directed to somebody behind the scenes named Janice, if that's true, oh my God. Wow. A lot of people are out there trying to say this is directed to Baby Keem's Janice. I don't think so. And I wouldn't entertain that too much because that's too much of a stretch. I like the song. I like the project. That's the second song I like off of this. In fact, let's go ahead and like Make Them Cry and Janice FTFU. Ran to Atlanta. Jesus Christ, what were you thinking? What were you thinking? You really hated, I don't know if you hated Not Like Us or you really like Not Like Us. Because that whole Atlanta colonizer bar, that really got to your head. And you're trying to tailor-made this by standing in front of it and being like, oh, I did ran to Atlanta to get Future. And end up having one of the worst Future features ever. I don't know what it is. I said this on my live. I don't know what it is with artists today that collab with Future, but every single one of you guys recently, including J. Cole, y'all have missed the mark with Future. It's like y'all don't know how to use Future to your advantage. And Future's not even that hard to use. Future is easy to use. You've seen what he's done in the past. Let Future be Future. I feel like a lot of artists today are telling Future what to do on the project, and Future's simply just following you guys. Let Future be Future. Because when Future's in his bag, he is not to be played with. That is a fact. When Future really can get in his bag, truly, the golden bag, that's when he's the one. And nobody can tell me otherwise. I know a lot of people out there, they don't prefer the Futures. They don't prefer the Playboy Cardis. They don't prefer the Uzis. They don't prefer Lil Yachty's because they want to hear the conscious shit. That's fine with me. But with my ear that's open to all kinds of music, hearing what Future has done, Future is way better than this. Future is 1,000 times better than this song. Without a doubt. Now, Shebang is funny. Shebang is funny. I don't know what that dude's name on YouTube was, but when he kind of recited Shebang as like some sort of treehouse phonics, that was funny as hell. Shebang! She dead! That was funny. That was really funny and that was really good. But you at the same time, you also showed how bad the song is. And funny enough, the beat's actually nice. Like, for Shebang, I would actually give this a like because I really enjoyed the beat on that. But what was said in the project or what was said on the track, I'm just like, sir, can we move forward? Can we move forward with our lives? It's like we're still stuck in the past. We're still stuck 2 years ago. This whole victim mentality that you have running throughout this project, it scares me. Because I feel like this is your new best. That frightens me a lot. Because I think Drake, and he displayed it with the first song. So the fact that we had the first song confirming that you can do this, but because of your audience, your younger audience, you don't want to do it because you might lose them? Sir, what if they're waiting for you to grow up? What if they're waiting for you to advance in your life? You don't need to rap about how rich you are. But at the same time, sir, maybe what you're thinking is not the case. Maybe you're wrong about what you're thinking about when it comes to your audience. The assumption that your audience prefers all these songs, they prefer the crash outs, this, that, and the third. Sir, what if it's not that? Because remember, with Toronto, let me tell you something about Toronto. When it comes to Toronto and Drake, they're going to run with whatever they get. So what if you don't need to worry about Toronto and focus more on your overall fan base? Toronto is going to appreciate what you drop because you're the national treasure to the city. It's just what it is. If you see how this guy moves around the place, you'll understand. But yeah, Shebang, the beat on that, that's cool for me. But no. Nah. One thing I did forget to mention is that this album is actually broken down into 3 parts. The first part that we just went through, that pretty much was, the best way to describe it is, that's him defending himself for the past 2 years with direct responses. So it's safe to say part 1 of this album, track 1 to track 6, which is Make Them Cry to Shebang, that's the, oh no, I need to talk with y'all because I've been busy. You know, I've been dealing with steak. I've been dealing with these lawsuits. But don't get it twisted. I heard what you guys were saying. This is my direct response to every single one of you punks. That's exactly what Act 1 was. What we're going to right now is the second part, which is the loyalty shifting, the turning points. This is where he talks heavily about the music industry, and he tries to break down his public relationships. And of course the cost of fame and everything else that comes with Aubrey Graham. So that's the second part. But funny enough, the third part, that's when he talks about legacy. And of course his last and final words for everybody. And of course that starts with Too Hard for the Radio. That's crazy, by the way. But yeah, this album is actually broken down in 3 parts. Funny enough. And I don't think a lot of people really clock that, but at the same time, who's really listening to the album like that, right? Your fans are not looking out for that Drake. I think, this is what I think. And I said this on my live. I say a lot of things on my live that I try to remember. Still, no script, by the way. But this is my idea of Drake's best projects. And of course, for a lot of people, this is where they actually fell off the boat. But me personally, with my Caribbean background and my love and care for Caribbean culture and seeing it represented on some of Drake's projects, me personally, some of Drake's best work as a pop star is when he has Caribbean songs on the project. Yes, does he have Caribbean songs on the other albums that he dropped? Yeah, cool. But an overall body of work that's outstanding, that people love, looking at views specifically, a good Drake project has Caribbean songs on it. Here's the funniest part about all of this. A Caribbean song could have easily fit in here. And to be honest, it could have fit into either the first act or the third act. You see what I'm saying? Because the way I'm seeing it is, when you have artists like Popcorn, when you have artists like Vibes Cartel, and any other artist that falls into that rough Caribbean kind of artistry, Drake can easily collab with those individuals. All you got to do is find the right beat, regardless if you want to tap into reggae, if you want to tap into dancehall, okay, do what you need to do. That's cool. But let me tell you this real quick. Dropping 3 projects is fine and dandy, but your Views project, that one project was the one. Scorpion was good too, but your best work has Caribbean songs on it. When you see a Caribbean song or when you see a Caribbean feature on a Drake project, that project's actually good. Now, for everybody that's a fan of rap, that's not your domain, but that's why I said pop star. When he's in his pop star bag for a pop star project, that's when it's at its best. That's when it's really good. That's when I have appreciation for it. But going into part 2 of this project, I'm actually shocked with Make Them Pay. Make Them Pay really shocks me because this is what J. Cole was supposed to do on thfalloff. That birthday Blizzard project that you put out, J. Cole, that actually ruined your rollout because it confused the audience. Because we thought that's what thfalloff was going to sound like. That is not what thfalloff sounded like whatsoever. You let Aubrey Graham beat you at your own game. This was really good. Now, of course, with the birthday Blizzard, we did the reaction. We remember what songs that he used and the samples, etc. Yada, yada, yada. That's nice. This right here, though, Make Them Pay, this actually impressed me. Now, of course, I don't like the subject matter. I'm actually basing it off the beat again. So that's 2 songs where I'm basing it off the beat, but I'm actually impressed with Make Them Pay. I'm actually very impressed with Make Them Pay. I'm going to be honest. I'm here to let you know right now, I'm skipping Bees on the Table because 21 Savage feature on that is useless. Burning Bridges was pretty much the ASAP Rocky diss. That was pretty much him dissing ASAP Rocky, getting at Rihanna again. Yeah, that wasn't for me. It was cool. It was cool, but it's not for me. Burning Bridges, here's the thing. Again, the beat, but the lyrics, it could be so much better. Like, I'm expecting a lot more. I'm expecting so much more. That's my expectation. I'm critical for a reason because I want to see the best. I want to see the best at the best because that's what the best is supposed to do. That's the job of someone that is the best. When you're at your best, which is the requirement, you must show the world that you can continuously be your best. That's just me personally. If you disagree with me, the comment sections are open for a reason. But that's how I feel about it. Since we're talking about this project, which is a compilation of Drake's feelings, I can rightfully say in my own album review that my feeling is that I want the best to be the best. Point blank, period. That's just how I feel. National Treasure, I'm really glad that you took Pressa off of this. Because if you kept Pressa on National Treasure, he would have ruined this song for you. He would have ruined this song for you. And if I'm correct, you filmed this at the University of Toronto in Scarborough. So, yeah, no, that's actually really fire. That's actually really fire that you did that. This is what I'm talking about, using Toronto as your playground. With the fame that you've amassed, you can use your city as your playground. That's you leaning on your city. Letting people know, nah, I'm not done, and I'm still here, still standing in one of the amazing cities in the world, and I'm still popping my ish. Funny enough, with National Treasure, you're talking about how your legacy in hip-hop is complex. Like, I just find it interesting. Of course, the beat is reminiscent of, like, some sort of Take Care or Nothing Was the Same kind of era kind of beats. Cool. That's fine and dandy with me. You know, I can appreciate a callback. I can appreciate looking back at your legacy, which is what you use this song for, right? To remind people that you are a national treasure, not only in Toronto, but to the whole genre of hip-hop. Of course, over here on the Flex Mind Network, a lot of us are going to question that. But through your fans and your constituents, yeah, they definitely see that. So National Treasures, I would like it for the beat, but I can't keep doing that personally because this isn't an album review about your beats. This is an album review about your actual overall music. Which brings me to the biggest disappointment on this project. What did I miss? Because for the people that know me, know that I'm a sucker for instruments on a good rap track. Cause why? It gives off anthem vibe. You dropped this song. It failed you. This song failed you and disappeared off the charts the next week after. Very disappointed with this song. And the whole let's go. But come on, bruh. You can do better than that, bruh. I DJ. I gotta take your lyrics off just to hear the beat. Cause the beat, do 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 do. What did I miss? Like that shit's fire. Like that's fire. The beat's cold. I love anthems. I grew up on anthems. If you lived in the 2000s, you heard a lot of goddamn anthems. I know what an anthem sounds like, and I can tell what's an anthem and what's not. This had potential to be a goddamn anthem, and you fumbled it. It still breaks my heart. It still breaks my damn heart how you fumbled that one, bruh. Jesus God, that was so good. And you just missed it because you want to keep rapping about some stay scheming shit. Bruh, you were right there. You were literally right there. All you had to do was literally just hit it home. Give us the Toronto Blue Jays home run. Bruh, this shit's like a foul ball, bruh. It would make me so mad. I love the beat to this. But as soon as we get into the song, I'm just like, what are we doing here? Like, for real, bruh. What are we doing here? You had it and you just missed it. It makes me mad to this day. That song has great potential. So at this point, we are now at part 3 of this thorough album review. And this is when we're going to start speed running. Because when I was listening to this project live on my channel before I got clipped, I said there's some songs on this part that you can skip. And one of those songs is Make Them Know. Of course, there's some songs that you can skip on this overall plot twist. I'm definitely skipping. Sorry, not sorry. Alright, so let's start with Too Hard for the Radio. How dare you do that to Mac Dre, bruh? How dare you do that to him? And it didn't even work. That's the funny part. What you thought you were going to do with this, it could never eclipse Not Like Us. This was your attempt. Oh, let me show you how to do it, little nigga. The little nigga still showed you how to do it. That's the hit record. That was the one. It was undeniable. The song that makes you literally feel like you either a blood or you a crip. Come on, bro. You can't emulate that. You can't recreate that. That's what happens when you're not from this culture. Too Hard for the Radio. That's a clear example of how you can make a hit song with the culture not involved. But it's not even a hit song because you need the culture to make a hit song. You can't fabricate these things. You have to really make these things for real. So, nah, man. And now we're going to start speed running. Make them remember, because you're trying to tell the world that LeBron James slept with chromas. Yeah, okay. Here's the thing, though. The beats on this half are really good, but it's the content matter in your lyrics that just puts me to bed. Make Them Remember is one of them. That's not for me. And then here you are with Little Birdie. Allegedly, you're trying to diss Kendrick Lamar again by having some dude pop lock in front of some strippers. You can go ahead and play with your birds, because your birds would prefer your music. But please understand, the brainwashing that them girls have had in the past is the reason why they gravitate to you. Because their past is clouded with mans like you. When Kendrick Lamar makes music, he doesn't make music for the minimum. He makes music for the maximum, the overall, everybody else. So the fact that you're trying to diss a song like Rich Spirit, sir, stop playing with him before he turns you into a song again. Like seriously, what are we doing here? I understand, yeah, you're trying to take Kendrick's words. I want to see y'all geeked up. If this is your version of geeked up, I'm concerned. Because your version of geeked up is coded with nothing but Kendrick in mind. It's like he's really haunting you. Like you can't get him out your head. That is crazy to me. That is absolutely crazy to me how this project, you spend majority of it jabbing the one person that put you to rest 2 years ago. And you just can't let it go. You still mad about the lawsuit and waiting for the appeal to go through. If that goes through for you, a lot of us are wishing and hoping that will not happen, because the way that a Canadian is coming over the borders to challenge the First Amendment, freedom of speech, sir, what are you doing? That's crazy. And you need to understand, you gotta stop. Focus on what you know. Focus on what you can do and be outstanding at it. That's what it takes to be the best. That's what the best looks like. And when the best is at its best, it's only going to produce the best. You got beaten so bad that you're trying to emulate the best. That's not how that works. You need to know that you're the best. You should have spent this album reminding the world who you is with hits. It's funny that your constituents on Twitter are struggling to figure out what's the summer hit, and a lot of them are trying to figure out, okay, so we're here together, trying to figure out what song should we put all our streams into. Sir, let me tell you something. The fact that you're on Twitter Spaces talking about which song y'all should stream the most, even though that's still at the end of the day going back to Lucian Grange or it's going back to UMG. Brethren, my God, wow, you're putting money into the company that Drake is suing by streaming his music. Brother, the checkmate is crazy. That's just me personally. But cool, don't worry, firm friends, make them know. Nice beats, lyrics are the lyrics. It's not for me. This is where I start to skip the songs because it's just like, oh my God, we are better than this. Especially with the last song and the music video that followed it. Make them know where you're trying to burn down the bot streams that you're talking about in your lawsuit, even though you're pretty much burning down your own bot streams in that project. Sir, you can't fool us. We read the lawsuits. We already confirmed that the bots that you thought UMG were using was for Kendrick. That's not the case. The only reason why you're suing for this is because you know the method. And the fact that you know the method and you're trying to assume based on what you're seeing, not realizing that's not the case, that's astounding to me. That's very astounding to me. But I'm not here to focus on that. I'm not here to focus and reminisce on the events in the past. We're here for this project. And I'm only going to speak about this project. And the thing I got to say about this project is, for Drake, I know you can do better. I know you can do way better than this. I understand on this project you're talking about this Iceman, this idea of Drake is here to stay. I highly recommend that you let this go, because this is not you. You're not you when you're angry. You need a Snickers. Aubrey, you are way better than this. Honestly, never mind. What's better? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Little joke in there. But the last best project from you, I would say personally, and I'm not even a fan of this project, would be Scorpion. Scorpion was your peak. That was peak Drake. Now, based on your resources that you have, I believe you can top Scorpion in terms of sound, not sales, because based on how that album was pushed with UMG's help, you can't do that again. That was the one for you. That was the upper echelon. Views was your best. Scorpion was second best. That's you right there. But please understand this part. I know you can do better than Scorpion in terms of sound, without a doubt. There's some songs on here that you definitely topped some parts of Scorpion with. But I want that consistency to be throughout the whole project. Drake, my idea of you, my idea of Aubrey, is an individual that learns from his mistakes. My idea of you is an individual that knows maybe I shouldn't go down this path, and maybe I should stick to what I can do best. Make the records. If you want to rap, you clearly showed that you can do it. You need to elevate yourself to a new height so that you can show the world, yo, you know what? Maybe it is time to grow up. Maybe it is time for me to rap for real and not joke around all the time and try to diss and jab and do this and that to make other people feel better, but I'm still in pain. Like I said, this project is a compilation of your feelings. This album is a compilation of your emotions. Compilation albums don't always work. It has a low % chance that they work, especially today. Compilation projects today do not work. You are an outlier because you stuck to a theme with Iceman in terms of how you feel in your head based on what you see, but not realizing that what you're seeing is an illusion in a sense because of what you're surrounded with. Because of the individuals that you surround yourself with, I feel like it's kind of putting up a blocker in front of your vision to make you see something else than to see the whole field that's in front of you. Because I feel like once you see everything that's in front of you that you can utilize, that you can really take advantage of, then I feel like that's when you're at your best. Because when you have the right resources to be outstanding, you can only be outstanding at that point. That's just how I feel. Remember, I'm from Toronto. I stand up for this city. I stand up for this people. I stand up because I care. I stand up because I want to see the best be the best. You want to know why I see that? Because with Drake, the way he acts and the way he moves is reflected upon the city. Meaning, people that emulate him, that see him as greatness, they're going to see how he moves. They're going to see how he acts. And they're going to emulate that through their day-to-day life. Meaning that you have a bunch of Drake clones running around the city doing the same thing or similar things to what Drake is doing right now. Now imagine with that kind of control that Drake has over the city and over his fan base. Imagine when he grows up, how much that's going to change damn near everything. That's going to literally solidify him as an S-tier artist when he grows up. That could make him a contender, regardless if he has his ghostwriters or not. When it comes to rappers, of course, you got some other hoops to jump through, because you need to also understand, with rapping, there are some very great and outstanding talents out there. For example, with Jid, Tyler the Creator, of course, you have the Clips. Chance the Rapper came out of nowhere and just reminded people I can still do this. I'm sure you can beat Chance the Rapper. Let's not forget the project Wale dropped. That was outstanding. There's so much competition out there now. The only reason why your album has positive reviews is with the cult-like following that comes with the idea of Drake. Separate that from Aubrey. What do we have? The rest of the world with how they see Iceman. The mixed reviews of one side loving it and the other side disappointed. There's a reason why the rest of the world is disappointed, because they know he can do better than this. I know he can do better than this. But it is what it is. Listen, I'm giving Iceman only. I'm struggling between either a 6 or a 7. 6-7. Like I don't know. We're gonna go with a 7. We're gonna go with a 7 because we're generous. But if I was critical, I'll give it a 6. If I'm gonna be honest, Drake is better than this. I know he's better than this. I want to see him be great. I want to see him be outstanding. This is not great. This is not outstanding through my eyes at all. That is my that is my assessment. I am new to this. I don't really do this, but I tried my best. So here we are today, ladies and gentlemen, with my first album review. I tried to hammer every single point that I could remember. And, hey, my hands are up, bro. This is the best I can do. If you mess with it, hey, bro, the comment section's open. Let me know what you think about this little project I have put together. If you don't like it, let me know. If you want more things like this, if you want similar album reviews or just me going in depth with other thoughts, let me know, because I ain't gonna lie, I had a little fun doing this, but with all good videos, it must come to an end. I'm sure this is going to be a long video because all I do is talk. For all the people that join my live, y'all know me, I'm a yapper. I can't help it. What I do is yap. And that's exactly what I did with this, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, if you are new here, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, bruh. Trust me, for what we're building over here is very substantial for the city, because I want to let the city know that we're a part of the conversation too. I want to let everybody a part of the culture know Toronto's a part of the conversation as well. And I'm being honest and critical with how I view us. I want to be honest and critical with how I view the culture, because I see the culture as something absolutely outstanding. But where it's at right now, there's a lot that we need to build up. But with every brick that we lay, we're going to move closer and closer to our overall goals. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Flex Mind Network. I'm out. Peace.